the men's rumble, first of all, was how we started. Um, Now, I enjoyed it. I love the rumble. It was super long. The winner was Cody Rhodes. That's one of the big takeaways. What did you guys think about the men's rumble itself? Go ahead, Rafe.
Let me begin because I got a couple things in my mind. First of all, I think the Rumble was tainted, and I'll tell you why. All right. Do I think it was entertaining? Absolutely. There was so much hype on the internet that Cody was going to win that he just won. It was kind of like, okay, it's like I knew the whole time Cody was going to win. So it felt like all the rest of it seemed like just bullshit. So like we know nobody else was going to win. Right? So it's
Well,
like
I mean, we didn't know technically, but we did have
Honestly,
our.
I didn't know. So I want to weigh in here because I want to say I didn't even know the Royal Rumble, is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Was WWE because I don't pay attention to WWE a lot. I did know who some of the people were. So I got to go in blind, and that's a gift, like I had no preconceived notion. I didn't even know Cody was in this thing, okay? But all I know is I'm glad he didn't burn himself again to try to get a win. And so I'm glad he won for that reason.
Well, I mean, that's one way to look at it. Rey Mysterio was supposed to make an appearance in this thing, and he did not. He was supposed to come out at number 17. No. And it turns out, I mean, I loved how they brought Dominic out at 18. He had Rey's mask and everything, so it was like he attacked him or something and prevented him from coming in. I was thinking Dominic was going to come out to Rey's music and stuff. I think that would have been hilarious and maybe a better way to do it. But it turns out Rey Mysterio is injured. He got injured in his match with Karrion Kross on SmackDown. They were going to do some spots to build this feud to Mania so that Rey and Dominic can finally have their big blow off of this thing that's been going forever. Because Rey's been talking about retiring for a while. Right. So I have a feeling it's all sort of in the mix. But will it still happen? Probably. I mean, we've got a little over 2.5 months, I think, until Mania happens. So we've got plenty of setup until then. But it was a shame that he didn't get to come out and do his thing, and I wish we could have had whatever build they had planned.
I really do too, because Tammy's only seen Rey maybe once or twice, and I think that he would be the forerunner of one of her favorite wrestlers, just knowing her tastes in wrestlers.
And I'd play him on the video game all the time.
Oh yeah, she beats the shit out of Riddle with him all like for an hour.
I guess I just like wrestlers named Ray that are luchadors. I have a type in wrestling.
Reefer Ray. Reefer Ray is one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah, Reefer Ray is a luchador.
Hey man, it's Reefer Ray.
He's my favorite one.
Hey, it's Reefer Ray.
It's Reefer Ray. Hey. That's what I got to say.
I got a question for you guys. Who was your favorite performer in the men's rumble?
Tammy, why don't you go first?
Okay, Brock Lesnar.
Lesnar? Really?
Yep.
I was shocked. I would not have expected you to say that.
Really?
Neither did I.
Yeah, well, he came in, he kicked a bunch of ass, he was creating all kinds of fun, entertaining mischief outside the ring. He strong, he had energy, and I enjoyed him a lot, and I thought he gave his all, and I think he could have really won it.
I think a couple years ago, you would have hated him, because this new character that he's got, where he's like sort of half babyface and kind of fun, makes him so much more enjoying to watch. I love that you picked Brock Lesnar, though. That is so left field. That's fantastic. What about you, Rafe?
I got a tie. I liked Sheamus. I thought Sheamus was cool because he lasted. But I got to give it up to Gunther just because he was an Iron Man and he made it through and he was beat up and he was kind of keeping things going and he was still staying in the mix and kind of running things. I could see why they paired him up at the end with Cody. You know what I mean? Because I thought that was a good matchup between the two of them to finish out the whole Royal Rumble. I mean, I think MVP of the Royal Rumble right there is Gunther for me.
I think that's fair. I also enjoyed Brock. I also enjoyed Gunther. I would have picked just about anybody for this match because I think everybody in the Rumble this year did great. I've watched so many Rumbles and I've watched so many with like botches and bad spots. And we did have one big botch that was very obvious was when Kofi hit that chair. He was not supposed to hit the floor. Kofi is known to have all these crazy spots where he gets almost thrown out and then gets to come back. Tammy, what are you doing?
We don't know.
Anyway, so he hits the chair and immediately hits the ground. Why they thought he should use one of those chairs, I don't know. I think it was a terrible idea. But had Kofi been able to pull that off, I think it would have been fantastic.
It would have, because they kept trying to do it at the announcer's table. They were trying to hype it. They were like, oh no, his foot's not on the ground. He didn't have both feet on the ground. And then all of a sudden they just took him out. I was like, oh shit, that kind of sucks. Because I know what you mean by him. He's like such an acrobat that he could have like made it through there. And that would have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but you know, what can you do at that point? It's like, he's out. There was enough other people to look at that particular time to where you didn't have to, you know, pay too much attention to what he was doing though. But yeah, that was pretty fun. Go ahead.
I will say this, considering the fact that Kofi was probably, he was probably supposed to have a lot more spots in this thing. You didn't even notice he was missing.
No.
The action was so good. All the wrestling was so great. Everybody did such a great job covering for whatever was missing. I just enjoyed the hell out of it. I do wish Cody had come in a little earlier. The fact that he came in last and then won the thing was kind of like, you're not really building his character right now. And did you guys notice that he's still kind of puffy and sort of red in his pec?
Yeah.
Like, man.
Oh, yeah.
That injury is not going away. No.
Did you read the news? The news was that he got cleared that day. That day, he got cleared. So he was up to the wire to get cleared to be able to wrestle.
I wonder if maybe it was like an emergency clearance, like, hey, look, we know you probably shouldn't go out there. Maybe that's why they put him in at 30, because he really couldn't do much. Tammy, what are you doing?
We don't know
what she's doing.
Stop.
So we've been over the men's rumble. We've gone over our favorites.
Wait. We didn't do surprise entrant into the. I want to know who surprised you the most, Tammy, that came into the men's Royal Rumble. Anybody surprised?
It's not very exciting. It goes back to me not knowing anything. Chris knew the news. He knew what was up. I didn't. So when Rey Mysterio didn't come out when they called his game, I was surprised.
Oh, okay. You know who I was surprised by? Booker T. I thought. I did think that was pretty awesome. That Booker T.
That was pretty awesome.
So I gotta say, I wasn't surprised by Booker T. Although he would have been one of the only real surprises, as it were. But I was super excited because I kind of had a feeling Booker T might be involved. It had been circulating online a little bit, and it's in Texas. Booker T's in fantastic shape. He's still running a wrestling school. He's still heavily involved in the ring. So it wasn't as much of a surprise as like a, hell yeah, it's Booker T. Hearing that Harlem Heat music after all these years was like, all right. It was great to see him doing something post Hall of Fame to me.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the men's Royal Rumble, was there any NXT people?
Let me look at the list, because I mean, Santos technically has already been called up.
Right. You know, Montez Ford, no, he's not. Damien Edge, no. Austin Theory was NXT for a while.
Yeah, but he's not anymore. He's been showcased for a while on the main roster. No, we didn't. Right. We didn't have any NXT call-ups for the Rumble, which is interesting because we had a couple for the Women's Rumble.
A lot in the women's.
I have a feeling we would have seen Nikita Lyons had she not been injured, but we'll get to that when we get to the Women's Rumble.
Absolutely.